So, welcome in the Kwentistadors. Jana,
Thank you
can you
for
tell
having
me a little bit about your background? Where did you grow up, and maybe from your schools?
Yeah, we grew up in this city called Parañaque in a village.
Okay.
We're six siblings, so we went to school somewhere in Manila, and like from high school to
Yeah,
college.
whatever. Yeah, high school, fine. Yeah.
Went to an all-girls school
Mhm.
in Manila, and then I went to college also in Manila
Okay.
at the oldest university.
So you are a pure Manila lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was born there, but I never lived there.
Ah.
Just from the city next to
Do you have any special memories from those years from the school? Any?
the school.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. You meet your friends who you're friends for the rest of your life, and but mostly what consumed my time was sports. So I was playing basketball then. So and then went to college on a scholarship, basketball scholarship. So
Yeah, that's impressive.
yeah. So that's pretty much how I spent my growing years from high school to college. Like, of course, studies, but you don't remember studying. You remember all the other stuff with your friends and the sports competitions. Yeah.
So you mentioned competitions, sport competitions. Can you tell me about that? What kind of competitions you participated during this time?
So usually when you're growing up, you do like inter-school competitions, and then from there, I didn't know, we're just playing and playing. Then I got into a selection, like Manila City selection,
Mm-hmm.
and then later on to the national youth team selection. It like all happened so fast, like really didn't plan about it, but maybe I was just in the right place because the school I went to is very near the main sports center. So I mean everything is was in place from the school teams to the competitions, I guess. So yeah, so from the school team to the national youth team to the national team. So
Sounds amazing.
yeah, but it was all like when you're young, and like I was just 16 then, so it was also a bit too much to handle, But I'm glad I was able to experience all those things. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly to being in the national team. Hey,
Yeah.
that's something to remember. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So and then how was that with the team? You were traveling around a little bit out of the country as well.
Yes, with the national team when I was for the youth team, it was just like they gather you for 3 months and then you go to the competition. Then it's done.
Mm-hmm.
But for the senior team, one good experience was I was the youngest in the senior women's team. So I was the only one who was left like going to school. So all my teammates were like finished already. So they were training full time. So while me after training, I'd go to school and then back to training again. So yeah, we went to a lot of places. We went like maybe 2 competitions in a year, international, and maybe one out of country training. So yeah, that was it. But those were really, really good memories.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Any special moments with any particular game what you can recall it was challenging and pull you really to the ground to, hey, I need to do better?
Because I was doing it like at the same time, playing for my university and then playing for the national team. So maybe for my university, we went like back-to-back champions, and some of the games were really crucial. So there were just a lot of really good moments that Of course, when the buzzer sounds and you win the championship, so that's really nice. But what I cannot forget about my college championship was when, because women's basketball, no one really watches it,
Don't say
especially during my time. Now they're they are shown on TV, but during my time no one was watching except your friends and your family. So during that time, we played in Araneta. Araneta, it was my maybe first time or second time just to play there because it was a championship. And the next game was the championship game, also by the senior men's team. So we were playing at the Coliseum, at the packed Araneta Coliseum. So this was the first time we were playing on like thousands watching.
Yeah.
And then I cannot forget one shot I made because it was a tight game. One shot I made, it was a 3-point shot.
Wow.
And then when it went in, I couldn't forget it. And when it went in, half was for our university, half was for the other university. The crowd just went up, and I was like, I was surprised because you're not used to those things when you're not being watched regularly.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
So yeah, it was one memory I couldn't forget. Probably because it was the only game that there was so much people watching. And then also we had games where the crowd was full too, but it was not hometown for international. Like when we were in Chiang Mai in '95, we played against Thailand. So the crowd was, it was full capacity.
I heard that they saying in the female sport, the teams are really challenging each other. I mean, the opposite team members on the field, and sometimes the game can go nasty. Is it true?
I think maybe for all sports, yeah. But depends on the personalities involved. If we're up against really rough teams, of course we'll slug it out with them. So but that one, it was memorable, but you're not at home.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were the moments that were really, really nice to remember.
Yeah.
And we don't have a pro league for women. So after college, after the national team, that was it.
So what happened then after the basketball? You kept the sport up front?
After basketball, I went to, I worked for a big pharmaceutical company. Worked for 6 years there. But when you're an athlete, you really look for the challenge, not competition. I don't want to say I'm a competitive person, but I'm up to the challenge.
Challenging yourself.
Yeah, yourself. So I said I wanted to play some more. I was just 26, and I felt I didn't realize my full potential because you had to retire at 22.
Yeah, that's no way.
Still wasn't there, right? So you were still trying to make it, but you get stopped because there's no opportunity to play, nothing, no pro league. Where are you gonna play? So you work for a living, and so I said I had to find something that I can work and play at the same time. So maybe about 1 year into corporate working in the company, I tried fencing. Yeah, fencing.
That's something. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, fencing. But it wasn't just something I'll try fencing. No, it was I said, what else can I do? Like, I'm 26, I can't start in gymnastics or swimming or and be competitive. Or I wanted to like still play internationally. And then one of my friends, I bumped into her. It was like, you know, you bumped into someone on a premiere night of Jurassic Park somewhere in SM. And then I said, oh, how are you? And they just came back from the Southeast Asian Games, and they said, and then I said, oh, can I try fencing? And then they said, okay, why don't you come over the fencing hall in Pasig, that's near. So yeah, I tried it, and I said, maybe I can, you know, be something here. So yeah, from there, it just happened. After a year into it, I got to the national team, and again in 2003, I was back to the Southeast Asian Games. So yeah, so that's it. So played fencing for 10 years. Got like I played for, I think, is it 4? Yeah, 4 Southeast Asian Games. Fencing, even like got lucky, got into the World Championships. Ranked like at one time 16th, and like I had some points in the rankings. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, but you know, you go up against players who fenced all their lives. And I started at 26. Fenced still. You know, you're from, you know, you're...
Yeah, I know. I witnessed this game.
The best players, the best fencers are from your your country. Yeah, so especially in my weapon, a saber. Yeah, world champions there.
So you participated the games, the Asian Games?
Yes, Asian Games. Southeast Asian Games, you know, it's big here.
Yes.
Because the ASEAN group.
Yes.
And it's good because, you know, you have better chances of winning. That's why it's popular in this area. And then Asian Games, yes, but the competition there is stiff because there's China, Japan.
And until today you are practicing?
No, I stopped in 2012. They had this rule about the age limit. Yeah, I was still number 1 then. I was still number 1. I was number 1 for 9 years in the Philippines.
Congratulations, absolutely.
Yeah, so I had an ACL. Yeah, I had operated on then. At 6 months, you know, I had to go on rehab.
Yeah.
And then I went back. It wasn't, you know, still wasn't fully recovered, but I had to play in my last SEA Games in 2011. We managed to win a team medal in all the other Southeast Asian Games. I was able to bring home like an individual medal. But so that was the last SEA Games I had, and in 2012, they gave this rule that because they said they wanted to develop younger players, so they put a limit to the age of the people being
to give a chance for the younger upcoming generation.
Yeah, it's their rule, you know, and it happens. So I said, what's the point of playing?
So after that point, what happened then? What was your next chapter?
So, you know, since people know me with with basketball and fencing, it's a small community, the sports community. So they just started the handball federation. It's zero, like no one knows handball here. Not like in Europe, like everyone knows handball next to football, right?
So it's something new.
Something new in 2012. So the guy who established the federation asked me if I could help out, get like some former basketball players to play handball. So I said, yes, okay, I'll try it out. So I didn't know what I was getting into, but just because I really wanted to still be part of sports, especially the national team, and I was a bit frustrated with the rule they gave. for fencing. So I said, yeah, okay, why not? I mean, at 26, I started to fence, became number 1. Why can I not do this? But of course, I was like in my what, almost late 30s. Now, anyway, so what I did was I formed a team. I was at the time I was already teaching in a university, so I had some students, asked them to try it out. So the first competition we had with the first women's team I formed was a disaster. Yeah, it was really bad because
What happened?
we went to the I thought I would get like support about, like I said, okay, I'll try, but you know, I have to have this and that, like the court, handballs, which like it wasn't easy to get. So anyway, a lot of the things I asked for didn't come. So we had to go there with no experience, zero experience, and play a first match internationally with
Against
like,
who? Who was
against like top teams, like teams from China, teams from Jordan. So they were really experienced, but it was an eye opener, and well, I just you just have to take it as it is and learn from. I mean, I cannot.
As you said, you need a challenge. So I guess the challenge just came to you.
Yeah. So it came to me, and I said, I need to do something about it. I don't want to exit, on a losing note. But I said it's an uphill climb because you need to develop players from young ones to become great. You cannot just transfer.
So you need to build
athletes.
up
You
from
need to
scratch.
build from scratch. Design a grassroots program, and then like transfer players, and then wait for a few years until until the young ones grow up. They have better technique. They have better understanding of the game. So that's what I did. So I was I'm a bit happy with what happened. So that was like in 2012. Now it's 2021. Of course, 2020 was when everything stopped. So like from 2012 to 2019, I was able to build a good team and a small community of handball players, like a few schools to play handball, made some festivals. It was a lot of work. But
I believe you.
It was a lot of work, but it's.
So you mentioned that in
nice.
2020, basically everything stopped regarding sport activities. Correct here.
Everything
so
stopped.
how you get through on this time, and what was the major challenge on that part?
So I coached the men's beach handball team. So we have a team. We performed decently. It was a nice finish. We won bronze in the Southeast Asian Games. It's it's a big thing. Back in 2019, right? So and then I was looking forward to expand the program because I started it in this corner in Quezon City and Antipolo, the schools, because it's it's near. You can go there. You can train the coaches. You can train the players.
Yeah, hands on.
Yeah, I did it. I did these things for some provinces, but it's not the same when you're there. So so this particular area was the one that developed. And so I wanted to, in 2020, I said I wanted to expand and then form the grassroots, and then for the national team, I wanted to to get more experience, because we had some good exposure during the SEA Games and people got interested. The crowd was.
It was like a good promotion, though.
Yeah. So. But it stopped, and now the schools. The first thing they stopped was the sports programs. The first thing they closed was the schools. The schools, the first thing they stopped was the sports programs. So, and I couldn't meet my team. So we only had online training, and we just do what we can do, give them a strength and conditioning program. So we have been training online since then. So I give them a program. What do we do? All strength and conditioning. They get, some of them set up gyms at home. We monitor them, their progress. We do testing, like, you know, not in the lab, but, you know, testing just to see if they're progressing, like the jump heights, their upper body strength with the push-ups. So we did some improvised testing for strength.
So, and what's going on these days? You can get together with the team to do some?
Not yet, because there's still like a limitation with the IATF, the ruling that we can't still train together.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but we're hoping it will open in 2 months, because the vaccines are there, they said, and they said we can, like, because the SEA Games is near, it's November. So they said we can do a bubble training.
Yeah.
Bubble training. So our target is July 1. So it has been like more than a year of only online training. And I heard one of my coaches, because I'm the head coach of the team, I have a goalkeeper coach. And we have this player, he's one of the younger ones. And my coach said, he saw the player once, and like they met and they had to exchange something, and he said, "Coach, you can't believe how tall he is right now." So those are the things you miss, you know, like, oh really, that's nice, but you know, you didn't get to see it. But of course, you know, I had players who are already adults, so there's no room to grow some more. But I know, because since it's the only thing that they can do, they're much stronger physically now.
That's good.
Which is, that's the only thing you can aim for. And at least they're thriving instead of just, you know, getting by. Thriving. Maybe they look at the mirror and see themselves and, you know, proud of what they have built.
That's good.
Through the quarantine.
That's good.
Yeah.
And what about like your personal sport activities besides coaching the team? What are you doing these days on that to keep yourself busy?
You know, the truth is, I became more active this period, this pandemic, because when I was coaching, I literally didn't work out, like didn't have the chance, because I was always, you know, trying to promote the sport, trying to look for players. Plus, of course, I have a job.
So now you have more time for yourself.
Yes, and you know, I have a job in the university, so now all the classes are online. You don't get to go out to traffic and, you know, waste your time 2 hours on the road. So I have more time now for myself. I was able to, you know, to get back to be active, do some weight training at home, do some walking at home, and this new wonderful thing.
What's that?
I got into, called cycling. I'm happy I got into it. If it wasn't for the pandemic, maybe I wouldn't have known how great this sport is, you know, this hobby is. So yeah, I got invited by a friend who's, you know, also into cycling, who does events and coaches. So it's great. I learned how to cycle on cleats, you know, but also I have this other bike where I can just, you know, hop on my rubber shoes and go around from where we live. Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
Hey, Jana, thanks again. Thanks for your time. I'm happy to hear your story and about the sport activities and your coaching.
Yeah.
And I wish you a great, successful luck.
And there's always something you can do.
Great. Thanks again, and heads up. Thanks.
All right.
Cheers.
Thank you. All right.
They did good.
Yeah. Too long, some of the stories?
No, it's not long.